Today we're working on the 2021 and newer Ford F-150. A lot of customers have asked us if there's a way to upgrade their rear camera from analog to digital. The answer is yes. However, you do need to upgrade your screen size. So those of you who have the lower trim level F-150 with the 8-inch screen, you'll have to install the 12-inch screen before you can upgrade your camera image. Luckily, here at infotainment.com, we've already been offering the 8-inch to 12-inch upgrade for your infotainment screen. We've been offering that for a few years now. An extra add-on to that is now you unlock the capability to turn your analog camera into digital. We developed a very easy plug-and-play kit to do so. It's just one cable and the OBD Genie programmer, which plugs into your OBD Genie port and reprograms the vehicle to turn that analog signal into digital. So let's get started.
Before we go ahead and get started, it's always good practice. Go ahead and remove that negative battery terminal just so you don't trip any DTCs or codes when you're unplugging some modules. What you're gonna want is a 7mm of some sort. I have a couple different lengths here, but basically I'm using magnetic 7mm because they save you from losing your 7mm in the dash. I'm gonna use cutters, some zip ties, and then I have an assortment of panel tools that'll help you in this process. All right, so where we're gonna start is actually at this radial bezel that's going around our screen and our AC vents. This is pops free. You don't even need a panel tool, but I'm using it to save my fingernails from any kind of abuse. Once you have that off, the key bezel that goes all the way down your dash needs to be removed. And this is also just held in with a bunch of clips on it. It just pops free, and you have to go in that order. If you try to remove this first, you have a couple of snap points on that upper bezel that will give you problems. All right, next up is these side bezels on the side of your center console. These pop outwards from the center console and then back. Just like that. And it's basically the same thing on the passenger side, so we're gonna do that one as well. All right, and now we can remove our climate control panel. It's held in with 4 7mm screws. And we can just pull straight back. We'll go ahead and disconnect all the plugs. As of right now, we'll just keep this panel set to the side. That'll give us enough room and access to our IPMA, make it a little easier to run that wire. All right, for this next part, I'm actually gonna be pulling the knee bolster down. You don't have to do this to run your wire, but it's gonna make life a little easier to zip tie that wire back here. And also I'll be able to get you guys a better view. So I'm gonna pop this down. There's 2 7mm holding this lower piece on, and then this whole top portion is just clipped in. All right, so now all I'm gonna do is grab the teal-ended Fokker with the mini Fokker connection on the other side. I'm gonna plug in the teal connector to my IPMA, and I'm gonna unravel this wire. Then I'm gonna run it behind here, and it's a pretty open cavity back here, as you can see. You run right through. I'll pull the slack out. And under the steering wheel, you can see this little lip right down here. I'm gonna use that to zip tie my wire. And conveniently, there's 2 spots just like that. So I'll zip tie on this side as well. Cut that away. Make sure that's tucked up in there pretty good. The end goal is basically to get this end of our line down into the kick panel area. The IPMA is actually right behind this panel, right up in here. So I'm gonna feed this down. All right, so now I can access the connector on our IPMA, and I'll show you which pin this mini Fokker needs to be pinned into. All All right, so now up underneath your dash, here's your OBD2 port that you can see on the left-hand side here. Right behind it, you have this brown quad FACRA connection going into your IPMA. You need to pull this out. There's a little tab right in the center that you depress, and that'll pull straight out. And this is what we're gonna have to pin that wire into. So let's go ahead and pull this back a little bit. All right, so now that we have the 4-pin FACRA connection pulled from our IPMA, what we need to do is pin this connection into pin 1. And where that's gonna be, if you're looking at it straight on with the wires coming out of the back, top right is gonna be pin 1. If you flip it around to the back side, if you were to look really closely, or if you have a really good zoom on your phone camera, you can actually see there's a 1 here, there's a 4 here. You just wanna make sure that you're pinning it into pin 1. And in order to do that, you have this little purple tab right in the center here. This is a locking tab. You can use a little flathead. You can even pull it with your fingernails to get this pulled straight back. And once you have that pulled out, go ahead and snap that new FACRA in place, and we can push this pin back in, or this little purple locking tab back in. Give that a tug. All right, that's nice and secure. All right, that's it. Our part is done for this connection. All right, now from here, we can actually go ahead and coil this up, throw a little zip tie on here. This is basically all we have to do install-wise to get that digital camera image onto our display there. So once you have this zip tied up, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this back in. And then I will proceed with reinstalling all the panels that we previously removed to get this down here. And then the last step would be to run our programmer to get the vehicle programmed for the digital rear view camera. All right, so we got the truck all put back together. Now we're ready to run our programmer. I'm gonna go ahead and put my key in the ignition, and I'm going to turn it to the on position without starting it. And now I can go ahead and run our programmer. We'll wait till we get a green light. All right, we got a green light. I'm gonna go ahead and key cycle, turn this off, and then I'll turn it back on, and we can check out our new rear view camera image. All right, and as you can see, we have the much improved rear view image. This is that full digital image versus the analog image we originally had. You can just see how much more crisp and defined that image is. So it's a safer, better on the eye, easier image to see, especially when you have that larger screen. All right, so all in, this was an extremely simple upgrade to go from that analog to digital image. Probably 30 minutes to an hour tops for all the installation involved with programming, and the outcome is a massive change. If you're interested in this upgrade and you want to see more just like it, please be sure to check out our website, infotainment.com, and check out our YouTube channel, infotainment.com, for more upgrades just like this one. Thanks for watching, guys.